against West Ham. The details after this.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
A 31-year-old police constable attached to the Westmoreland Division and a 39-year-old man are in custody following a series of coordinated intelligence-driven operations conducted by law enforcement personnel on Friday. Both men are being detained on reasonable suspicion of breaches of the Firearms Prohibition, Restriction and Regulation Act 2022. The joint operations, which led to the detentions, were carried out by the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Branch, CTOC, in collaboration with the Firearms and Narcotics Division, FNID, in Hanover and Westmoreland. During the course of the operations, investigators seized a total of 85 assorted rounds of ammunition, along with a motor vehicle, multiple mobile phones, and a sum of cash. At one location in Hanover, the two men were apprehended during an operation targeting the illegal sale of ammunition. A subsequent search resulted in the seizure of ammunition found inside a motor vehicle occupied by both men. Further intelligence-led follow-up actions resulted in the recovery of additional ammunition at a residential location in Westmoreland. The JCF says all seized items have been secured and handed over to the relevant investigative units for processing and further examination. Meanwhile, the JCF is reiterating its zero-tolerance approach to criminal activity, particularly where it involves members of the organization. The force says it remains resolute in its commitment to upholding integrity, accountability, and public trust, and assures the public that any member found to be acting outside the law will be dealt with firmly and transparently. 56-year-old football coach Hector Wright and his wife Jodianne Coke Wright, a customer service agent, both of Catherine Hall, St. James, have been charged following a drug seizure at their home on Thursday, January 29. The police are reporting that both accused were taken into custody and charged with possession of cocaine and dealing in cocaine by detectives assigned to the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch CTOC Area 1 gang unit. Reports are about 1:15 p.m. an operation was conducted at the couple's two-story dwelling. During a search of the premises, officers discovered containers with suspicious substances. Investigators from the Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division FNID were alerted, and during their inspection of the substance, it was revealed to be more than 20 pieces of crack cocaine. Mr. Wright and his wife are scheduled to appear in court on February 25. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has acknowledged that the demand for housing has outpaced the government's capacity to adequately meet the supply. He said this has led to several informal settlements across the country. Dr. Holness made the comment during the handing over of homes under the new social housing program in rural St. Andrew on Friday.
Nobody can tell me about the need for shelter and for proper housing. I understand that. And what has happened in Jamaica is that the overriding need to find somewhere to live has escalated much faster than the ability of the government to provide affordable opportunities for people to achieve formal housing. So informality has just run wild. What informality does, irregular settlement of land and squatting, is to place a limit on the potential and proper development of your area.
The Prime Minister pledged that his administration will speed up the delivery of housing solutions while effectively addressing the problems associated with informal settlements.
If you go into a community that has been informally settled, when you go and say, I'm ready to formalize and regularize this community, nothing is left for road. No space there for people to have any recreation. No little park can go there. Everybody put their boundary here, this there, house catch up beside each other. Chaos. You can't bring water go there. You know, it's a cobweb for electricity wires. And then it's a headache. In other words, what it would cost to have formally laid out this community would be far more to go and regularize the community after it is informally settled. And what we have been doing as an administration is to try to speed up the formal development so that people don't have to go and settle communities informally.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. Latest figures from the Jamaica Fire Brigade indicate that there was a reduction in deaths related to fires in 2025 compared to the previous year. Jamaica Fire Brigade Commissioner Stuart Beckford told the JIS that 19 deaths, 14 adults and 5 children, took place in 2025 as opposed to 27 in 2024. Commissioner Beckford said of the adult fatalities, 36%, 5 persons, were between ages 39 and 64, while 64%, 9 persons, were between 65 and 85 years old. Meanwhile, the number of children who died in fire last year increased by 1, moving from 6 to 7. Commissioner Beckford noted that at the start of last year, there was a triple death at a home in St. Anne. The commissioner also reported that 84 persons were injured as a result of fires in 2025, including on-duty firefighters and civilians. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Meg JC, Mrs. Arlene Williams, says more than 50 roads have been rehabilitated under the Spark program so far. She gave the update while speaking at a new housing social program ceremony in rural St. Andrew on Friday. Mrs. Henry signaled further rehabilitation of more roads will commence before the end of the fiscal year.
In less than 2 years, we have rehabilitated a total of 56 roads. Complete rehabilitation. We have commenced another 84 rehabilitation of the roads, with over 400 more to start by the end of March of this year. So as I drove along, I saw some potholes and some roads that need rehabilitation. Just hold strain, it's coming.
Mrs. Arlene Williams, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Meg JC. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has extended condolences on behalf of the government of Jamaica to the family and colleagues of Dr. Warren Smith, former president of the Caribbean Development Bank, CDB. Dr. Smith was a Jamaican economist and he died on Friday. The Prime Minister said Dr. Smith's leadership helped shape development policy and regional cooperation across the Caribbean. It was also highlighted by Dr. Holness that during Dr. Smith's tenure at the Caribbean Development Bank, Jamaica benefited from the institution's continued support in priority areas, including infrastructure development, social protection, climate resilience, and economic reform. Dr. Holness further remarked that Dr. Smith's stewardship strengthened the bank's role as a reliable partner to Jamaica and other regional states, particularly at moments when development financing and technical support were critical to national progress. Dr. Smith was known for his deep understanding of the Caribbean's development challenges and for advancing a results-driven approach that placed people, resilience, and long-term sustainability at the center of policy, declared the Prime Minister. Dr. Holness said Jamaica acknowledges Dr. Smith's service to the region and his role in supporting development efforts that continue to improve lives. To news now on the international scene. Pictures appearing to show Andrew Mountbatten Windsor kneeling on all fours over a female lying on the ground are part of the latest release of documents related to late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. This latest information digs an even deeper hole for Andrew, writes the royal correspondent for the BBC. The UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer suggests Andrew should testify to US Congress. Earlier, a congressman told the BBC they haven't given up that hope. The photos are among more than 3 million pages of documents related to the late sex offender released on Friday, 6 weeks after a deadline mandated in law signed by President Donald Trump. Other documents, many of which are heavily redacted, involve email exchanges, details about Epstein's many properties, and information on his death in a New York prison cell. There is no suggestion that appearing in the documents implies any wrongdoing, and many people who have featured in previous releases have denied any wrongdoing in relation to Epstein. And now to sport. Well, Champions League chasing Chelsea fought back from 2 goals down to win in stoppage time against West Ham in a dramatic London derby at Stamford Bridge. Enzo Fernandez's 92nd minute winner sparked wild scenes of celebration after trailing 2-0 to goals from Jarrod Bowen and Crescendo Somerville. The new manager Liam Rosener's substitutes had hauled Chelsea back into the game as halftime introductions João Pedro and Marco Brulo both scored to level the match. And now for a recap of the top stories making the news at this hour. police constable and another man detained following a series of coordinated intelligence-driven operations conducted by law enforcement personnel on Friday. Football coach and wife charged following drug seizure. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has acknowledged that the demand for housing has outpaced the government's capacity to adequately meet the supply. You can find the news on our website at rivernews.ai and on the River News app available on Google Play and the App Store. News is next at 5 tomorrow afternoon. Good afternoon.
Nationwide has always been a family. Now we're making it official. Family Club coming soon.
If me asleep,
a nationwide.
if me a walk,
A nationwide.
if me a drive,
A nationwide.
nah go over there. Why? Cause she nah listen nationwide.
A nationwide, me say.
Look trouble now. Hey, he coming up. Say, he coming up. Like a. Hey, every day is fat. I come out to better fetting more than you. It's sweat. I come out to wetter sweating more than you. I come to wine and jam and I sure to catch it more than you. Cause when I'm fetting, of course, I just do it like a boss. I'm fetting morning and evening. This is me home and not leaving. I can't get over this feeling. I just want to pay myself. Leave me, let me pay a mass. I just want to wine on something. I can't let no bumper pass. Me pride in need lost and found. Watch me how I'm winding down. I only need dirty.
Nation